So, Nintendo Direct just happened for the Switch 1. We got some really good news. We got Metroid Prime 4, and we got Pokemon ZA news. Also, beyond that, we got a bunch of cool indie games that I'll probably just be throwing up. But it's so cool to see Nintendo take a different route in all of the different avenues that they're exploring in regards to Switch 2, in regards to still keeping up with the Switch 1, because it sounds like the Switch 1 is still going to have support regardless. There were a couple of things that were a little bit weird when it came to the Direct. Just one thing that stood out to me, but that's about it. But let's talk about some of these games. The Tamagotchi game stood out to me a little bit. That was really cool. Not something I see myself playing, but I saw recently that there's a Tamagotchi phone app, and I really hope... I'm just a guy that loves connectivity with a lot of different platforms, so I hope that the Tamagotchi game for the Switch will have a little bit of connectivity to the phone game. Even though I haven't played the phone game, I have no idea what that looks like at all. I had Tamagotchis as a kid, and Hi Ellie, how's it going? It makes me want to get the game for sure, but I know that I'm probably not likely to ever play them. The Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remakes, they look glorious, they look magnificent. I think that is something that I'm definitely going to cop just off of aesthetic alone. I've never played the Dragon Quest games, however, I've never been opposed to doing such a thing. I've never been opposed to playing the Dragon Quest games at all. Next thing, let's just get into the meat and potatoes of it. Metroid Prime 4, can we just talk about Samus real quick? Because this girl has been going through it in every planet that she comes across, and she just becomes more powerful each and every time. Honestly, I haven't played that many Metroid games. Honestly, I think, if I'm being 100%, I think I've only played a Metroid Prime demo at a Walmart when I was 10 years old. And then beyond that, it was Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread got me hooked, bro. I'm serious. I realize I'm a sucker for Metroidvania type games, but I never played Metroid or Castlevania games. I was playing Hollow Knight, I was playing Ori and the Blind Forest, things of that sort. I gotta play the second one too. I'm telling you, that type of gameplay, I'm a sucker for it. So seeing her get this first person shooter that everyone's been clamoring for, I love it. You love to see it. You really just love to see it. This is me in post. Speaking of Metroidvania games, this freaking Shadow Labyrinth game, they're freaking taking a twist on Pac-Man. When he said his name was Puck in the trailer, I didn't equate 2 and 2 until they found the dots and they made the Waka Waka noise. I was like, wait, Puck? As in Puckman? Are you serious? There ain't no way. But this tacked on with the fact that I love Metroidvania games as much as I do, that's a definite cop. Off rip, just immediately. Good lord. Okay, I'm back again. I was gonna leave, but apparently there's a whole series on Amazon Prime called The Secret Levels, and they made an episode about this like 3 months ago. This has been announced 3 months. Where was I at? Where was I? Now I have to go watch this show. I have to go watch this show in its entirety to get the full lore and perspective on everything. Secondly, Pokemon Legends ZA. This is important to me because, bruh, Pokemon, if you don't know, Pokemon is my jam. It's my jam. Alright? So, Legends ZA is showcasing that the wild areas, they look pretty big in Lumio City. Lumio City itself is looking huge, just from the little that they showed in this most recent trailer. It's looking like, as well, that when it turns nighttime, it's just all out free-for-all. You gotta rank up by battling different individuals, but it doesn't look like it's just gonna be like, if I lock eyes with you, now we have to battle immediately, how it usually is. I think it's just if you're out in the streets and you get caught lacking, because brother came out of nowhere and started sneaking up on one of the trainers to attack his Pokemon unaware. So I don't know if that trainer was, I don't know if they were already in a battle and somehow they ran away, which is also crazy, and then came back for the get back, or if he just sneaking up at nighttime just to catch them lacking. Either way, that's just crazy, because that means at the very least you can at least start battles with mad different trainers and then just go after each and every different individual. You can run away at any time you want from a trainer battle. It's really cool. It seems like you can walk with any of your Pokemon, which makes sense if you can literally battle with your Pokemon and they move as you move. It makes sense to be able to walk with your Pokemon. So I hope that the walking feature isn't dumb. I had a lot of iffy ones. The Scarlet and Violet ones are still iffy. Let's Go was really the best implementation of it, and I don't know if they're going to do that specifically. It looks like it's not going to be too much of an issue, but we can't tell from now. That being said, the other things about the Pokemon is it looks like you can really just sit down and enjoy some hot cocoa with your Pokemon. That's really sick. I'm really glad to see that they're thinking this much about the game. And not just limiting the Pokemon that you're able to catch to the wild areas, but also if you're going on to rooftops and things of that sort, and you're just literally roof hopping, you can do that. It also really expands on the game, the area as a whole, because you had Lumiose City, and it was big. There were different buildings you can walk into, people you can talk to. However, there wasn't too much that you could do aside from go to the clothing store, go to the Pokeball shop, go to the dining hall, go to the gym. There were different dining halls, things of that sort, but there wasn't that much you could do aside from the looker missions and stuff like that. And there wasn't, scale-wise, there wasn't that much to see. The train station was cool, but it didn't take you anywhere. This game, rather, this setting, makes Lumiose even bigger. Lumiose is big in X and Y, literally on the X-axis, right? Now we have height to work with as well. So we have the X and the Y-axis to work with. So that's actually cool. You are literally going to be rooftop hopping and finding different areas, different Pokemon to challenge. And apparently we're gonna have a lot of Mega Evolutions. I heard there were leaks already. I did not see the leaks. Please do not comment any of the leaks. It's gonna be wild regardless. I'm hyped for it. I'm definitely hyped for it. Now, the thing that confuses me a little bit, right? There's this thing they're trying to do when it comes to digital games where you turn your game into a digital cartridge and you can share that cartridge with your friends. But it's confusing to me only because usually when you're in the friends aspect of things, you would want your friends to be able to play the game with you. So it seems like you can share and lend out your digital cartridge to your friends so they could play the game. They have a limited time to play the game and then you get your digital cartridge back, right? But it seems like during that time that you've lent out your digital cartridge, you cannot play that game that you designated as the digital cartridge. So say I set Breath of the Wild as my digital cartridge and I lend it out. I can't play Breath of the Wild anymore, which is fine. Breath of the Wild is a single player game. Can't be too mad at that. Say you want to play Minecraft with your friend at the same time. They don't have Minecraft for the Switch, so you lend them the digital cartridge. Now you can't play Minecraft. So it feels, it's good in the sense that you're letting more people experience your games as Nintendo, but it's not good in the sense that they cannot play the games together. Because that's what it looks like right now. I'm not sure if that's the case, but that's what it seems to be at the moment. I just don't know how to feel about that. I really don't know how to feel about that. Also, they announced this one's really cool. I don't know how to feel about this, but I think this is gonna be like a really cool one. They're announcing their own app for Nintendo Direct News. So they're basically saying they're going to be dropping news every day on this app for I don't know how long. They just said, I think the app drops later today, And then after today, it's gonna be just nonstop news about different Nintendo things at least once a day. And it feels like, to me, it feels like they're making their own Twitter space area pseudo type of thing where you can have your own feed and it's just Nintendo stuff. But the only thing that's making it not Twitter or Instagram or Threads adjacent is that it seems like the user can't post anything to this app. Strictly news. It's just, maybe it's more accurate to call it like a Forbes or like the Google News section of your phone if you have an Android. It's like that, which I don't think is bad. It's definitely not bad. But it got me to thinking, if Nintendo made a specific Twitter app, but for Nintendo specific things or just gaming specific things in general, I think that would go crazy. Just because it has a gaming company's name attached to it, it probably would look more aesthetically pleasing for gamers, and it could potentially find you some nice gaming spaces to join into. That's just the thought that I had in my head. As for the news app in itself, I don't know how well that will do on its own as compared to just using Twitter or just using Instagram, because I'm sure you're going to be still posting in those same areas, Nintendo. It doesn't make sense not to. As a business, that would just be detrimental if you didn't. I think this app is definitely something to look into, though, so I'm definitely going to give it a shot. Other than that, I think I have no bad things to say about this Direct. There were tons of good games, tons of things I'm interested in looking at that I have to watch again to properly get the name of and properly realize what it's all about. But the two that stood out to me, Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends EA Infinite Cops for me. I'm definitely grabbing those games. Let me know what y'all thought about the Pokemon Direct in the comments below. I have been Kenny Sprite, and I'm about to head out. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Peace.